Today is Friday, June 30th, 2023, and welcome to Overton, Episode 2. A weekly segment where we summarize the top news stories for you, bringing you the uncensored truth beyond the window of mainstream narratives. France has been thrown into chaos this week as uprisings have taken place across the country. The youth are rioting after a teenager was killed by a police officer for fleeing a traffic stop in a suburb of Paris on Tuesday. The insurgence across the country has turned violent, with many videos circulating showing police stations being attacked with Molotov cocktails, while using trucks and bricks to destroy properties. Many of the rioters have stolen weapons and have begun looting across several cities, while the police struggle to handle the situation. The United States Supreme Court had their own uprising this week against the woke agenda of the left, after a historic ruling which struck down affirmative action at universities across the country. The conservative-leaning court ruled that race-based admissions at Harvard and the University of North Carolina were considered unconstitutional, ruling that race itself cannot be considered a factor in college and university admissions. The ruling overturns a decades-old precedent that was being wielded by institutions to boost admissions of minorities based strictly on their race. An uprising took place in Iraq on Thursday when Islamic fundamentalists stormed the Swedish embassy in Baghdad. The insurgents were rioting in response to a Quran that was said to have been burnt by an Iraqi living in Sweden. The protesters were allegedly told to rise up after a powerful cleric called for an angry protest. The violent crowd briefly stormed through the front gate of the embassy and remained inside for about 15 minutes before security forces arrived on the scene. It's been a week since Russia's uprising, where Wagner forces led what many claimed would be a coup to oust control of the country from the hands of Vladimir Putin and his military leaders waging war in Ukraine. However, the so-called coup did not happen, and Wagner boss, Prigozhin, brokered a deal with Putin and Belarusian leader Lukashenko before his troops reached Moscow in order to prevent bloodshed. Many are still questioning the cause of insurgency and the motives behind it. Wagner leader, Prigozhin, has been exiled to Belarus. That's it for this week's headlines. We hope that you join us next week for Episode 3. Stay informed, stay curious, and stay tuned for more enlightening perspectives. This is Overton, over and out.